Hi, everybody, and welcome to another Agile IT Tech Talk. I'm your host, Sean Spicer, joined this week by Kristin San Ramon, our resident Teams expert here at Agile IT. How you doing today?
Doing very well. How are you?
Doing pretty good. What are we going to talk about today?
All right, so today we're going to talk about Teams tricks and adoption. Super excited about it.
Awesome.
Show you a few tools and a few tricks to use within Teams. Some of you may already know of it, but hopefully there's some other things that you guys are not familiar with yet.
Great. So you've been doing this for a number of our clients, so you help them come in and recognize the best path forward.
Correct. So I listen to, how they currently communicate and collaborate, the tools that they're using, and then I help them learn through Teams, how to better utilize Teams and how it can help solve some of their problems or issues that they currently have within their collaboration efforts.
Awesome. So today what we've done is you set up a demo tenant called a CIE, a customer immersion experience, that pretty much emulates a fake business. So that way we don't have to show any secret information or anything.
Correct.
But this company is Contoso, right?
Yes, it's Contoso.
Yes, and going back to last week's Tech Talk, we don't have, what was her name?
Megan Bowen.
Forgot her. Yep, Megan Bowen is not part of this tenant, so
she's been here.
Yep, she's been fired. All right, well, why don't you show us this demo tenant?
All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's go get this tenant up. All right, so the first thing I wanted to go through was identifying usage and champions. So the first thing I'm going to do is go to office.com and then click on the admin portal. So just want to note here that only admins have access to this. And from here, I'm going to go to show all and hit reports and then go to usage. So the purpose of this is to help us identify who is already utilizing Teams, so we can pick out who would be great candidates of our Teams pilot group to help drive more usage of Teams. And if there's no Teams activity, then what I would do is check email activity, and from there I can sort out who's sending emails, who's receiving a lot of emails, and that type of stuff. So let me just scroll down here so you can all get a.
And this is available in every Office 365 tenant, correct?
Correct. All right, so I just scrolled down here. So like Sean was saying, this is a demo tenant, so there hasn't been too much Teams activities. So because of that, like I said earlier, I'm going to go and click on the email activity. It looks like there's a lot of people using email right now. Once I click on that, I'm going to sort by send action so we can see, who's receiving a lot of emails, who's sending a lot of emails as well. So we can see that Kelly K sends a lot of emails, and if I go under receive, I see that Karen gets a lot of those emails as well, and I can filter in by 7-day activity, 30, and all the way up to 180 days.
Now, why is this important in identifying champions?
So it's important because you want to see who's communicating a lot through email, and we want to teach them and get them informed of, okay, I know you're communicating in this fashion, but let me show you the new way of collaborating and communicating within Teams, and you can do the same stuff, but it's instant, it's a lot more collaborative. People can see the different chat conversations going on, so this helps us pick and choose who would be good adopters of Teams, especially if we haven't rolled it out yet. We want to get a solid group of people, maybe like 5 to 10 people, no more than 10, to start utilizing Teams and really being that champion to help drive Teams forward for the rest of the organization.
And because they have the extended use of email, you can kind of assume that they're going to have more use for the collaboration tools within Teams, correct?
Oh, yes, definitely.
So you've got some information from our tenant that we've redacted, right?
I do, yes.
Let's see what this looks like for a real organization.
All right. So actually, let me just show you the admin center for Teams through this demo tenant. You're not going to see a lot of information, which is why we were able to ask one of our admins here to take screenshots of what our reporting looks like. So analytics and reporting, and here you can select the different types of reports that you want to see: Teams usage, Teams device usage, Teams user activity. I don't believe there's going to be a lot of information here, or if any really. Usually when you run the report, you should see some numbers here. Let me show you what some of that looks like in our tenant. So in here you can see people that are utilizing Teams the most. You can see the different, or how many messages they're sending within channels, their chat messages, stuff like that. We blacked out everybody else's names except for me and Sean.
You know, what's fun is I believe this is 30 days of information. You'll see that we have one person with 95 meetings in 35 days, or in 30 days.
That is fun. You can see our Teams activity right here. Yeah, the chat. Yeah, you can see the chat messages and the different channel messages. We have 32 out of 49 active users. Another screenshot here is you see the Teams user activity, and again you can see the activity from 7 days to 180 days. You can see the channel messages, chat messages, calls, and meetings. And I believe if you hover over it, tells you the specific number in that.
And so right around the time when I first joined the company, I was given the rule that I was to try to never use email. And it was at the time when Agile IT was moving from emails for internal collaboration and SharePoint almost entirely to Teams.
Oh, yes.
And when we looked at these reports back then, there was actually an interesting point where we had the crossover, where you could see that our email use was declining and our Teams use was climbing.
Oh, that's awesome. I mean, even when I first joined a few months ago too, it was a new thing for me. Like, oh, you don't want me to use email as much, but you know, I start my day looking at my activity in my team versus you know, checking my Outlook right away. It's kind of similar. Instead of, you know, starting the day in Outlook, I start my day in Teams, check what I've missed, and you know, reply to things that I've been called out on and stuff like that.
Yeah, being on the marketing and sales side here, we have one team in our Agile IT marketing team that has all of the new leads that come in. That is the number one thing I check every morning. So I'm up drinking my coffee, I'm on my phone, like, what did we get overnight?
Oh yeah, that too. So you know, you can check it on your phone too.
Yeah, it really does become the hub for teamwork.
Exactly. And I believe that was the rest. Oh, there's one more screenshot here. These are just the active users, and you can see the different colors here in Office 365 all the way to Teams. You even have Yammer, OneDrive, and Exchange on here as well. And this is May through June. All right. All right, so the next thing that I wanted to cover is meeting spaces within Teams. So for people that are first starting out with Teams, I like to say, you know, plan out your Teams deployment using Teams. And one of those ways is, you know, creating different meeting spaces within Teams. So most people are familiar with just creating a meeting through here. You click on meeting, schedule a meeting, and, you know, you go through this motion of creating a meeting. But say I wanted to do an ad hoc meeting within a channel. So I'm going to go ahead and show the Meet Now option. Let me just go in marketing team. I'm in the general channel. All right, Julian says there's a top secret plan on our whiteboard. All right, can't wait to see that. I'm going to go ahead and give it a like. Let them know that I have seen it. And say that I want to do an ad hoc meeting like I was saying. I'm going to go ahead and click Meet Now. And if I go back to the team, all right, we're going to have people join in. It looks like nobody has joined yet, but I do have the option of adding people here.
I'm over here masquerading as Julian.
As Julian. Go ahead and ask you to join. So what's happening here is people can see that a meeting is going on, and what I was looking for was actually this icon here. So it lets users know, hey, a meeting is going on. You know, you can jump in whenever, or if you're available, you can join in from here too. So I'm going to just actually send a message to the team, be like, please join if you're available. And one thing I did want to note here is if you are following the channel, you will get that notification that says, hey, a meeting is is happening, and you get those pop-up notifications if you follow channel.
Now, because pardon me, because this is a remote desktop and it is through the demo tenant, we don't have mics and we don't want to actually have all the crazy echo that we experienced yesterday when testing. But I am in the meeting now with you, and I've sent a chat message over. So you've got all the same tools as you do in a normal Teams channel in a meeting, right?
Exactly. So earlier you saw me put in this message, please join if you're available within the channel, and you can also see that the message has come up here within the meeting as well. We all love meetings, don't we?
And gifts.
And gifts. Oh my goodness, love gifts. Another thing you can do on here as well is meeting notes, and we can go ahead and take notes at the same time, share them out with the team, and once that's all done, it'll show up in our channel as well. So let me go ahead and just do some meeting notes. There's a few examples there. Looks like Julian has also put in some notes too. So if I just go show notes in full screen, I can see that there are these different notes happening during this meeting. Another thing that I can do in here as well is record the meeting. I'm going to go ahead and record. Julian, is that okay with you?
That's fine.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. The recording is happening, and once this meeting is done, it auto uploads into Stream so that if anybody missed the meeting, they can go back and see what they have missed. And lets everybody know that you're recording. And the last thing that I wanted to show on here was turning on your camera. But like Sean was saying, I'm in a demo environment. We weren't able to put up the camera here, but let's see if Sean is able to. Call.
Well, there's that echo we were worried about. All right, gonna go ahead and put that on mute. As I've said before on Tech Talks, I do have a face made for radio. Uh-oh, what's that? What's that behind me here?
Oh God, looks like we have that top secret plan for world domination.
All right, so down there on those three little dots on the bottom of the screen, and I can't share my screen because I am coming from the Agile IT tenant, is we've got the ability to blur black background. And so now the top secret plans are saved. Nobody knows what that mysterious step 3 is. And it's also nice too because we're in beautiful San Diego. Don't want anybody to feel bad about the wonderful weather we're having right now.
Right, and it's a really good option to have too if you're working in a public space or if you're, traveling and you just don't want that background to be showing. I really like this feature of just being able to blur my background.
And what I can do here is I can actually share my screen, and it should share my remote desktop session. There it is. So now you're watching the virtual desktop of my the virtual desktop on my desktop through a team. And I'm going to try one other interesting bit here. Since we're in a call, because you're not in the tenant,
right.
I can't give you access to control my mouse and keyboard. So
okay.
Teams also has pretty cool, I'm going to go ahead and end the call now.
Yeah, go ahead.
Teams has some pretty cool remote assistance features. So a lot of times if you're using something like, I know we're in GoToWebinar, but if you use any of the GoTool platforms, a lot of the Citrix stuff for doing remote support, in a really fast ad hoc way, you can offer remote support to your remote workers right through Teams. And I've found that really helpful on a number of occasions.
Trying to see if I can give you access. See, yeah, all right, yeah, there you go. Now I can presenting and I have the option to give control. Oh, I guess it's not letting me at this time. Are you able to request control?
Not in the meeting.
Okay. Apologize about that. That's okay. right, I'm gonna go ahead and end this this ad hoc meeting. I'm gonna go ahead and hang up. All right, and from here, we're back into the general channel. We can see the chat that people have missed. We can even go back to the meeting notes as well. Go ahead and collapse that. All right, so that was one of the ways to use meetings in Teams. Another one, really quickly, wanted to show you guys was the live event. So live events, they allow you to broadcast an online meeting to a large internal audience, actually up to 10,000 users for up to 4 hours. So this is great for larger organizations that have employees from different locations that don't necessarily see each other too often, or you have employees that work remotely, or if you just have a large organization that you want to speak to, live events would be a really good option. And how I got there was just clicking on meetings and new live event.
And that can be shared outside of your tenant as well if you wanted to do webinars that way. Yep. So this is great for product demos.
Yes. And like
Me
I said,
always in
10,000
marketing
people.
mode.
10,000 people. And from here, you can even click on who you want to invite as a presenter versus a producer. So producer is just somebody that's like in the background controlling the slides and stuff like that, and the presenter is somebody that will be actually presenting the information.
Cool.
All right, I'm going to just go ahead and discard those changes. So jumping up to the next topic are bots. So bots in Teams allow you to gather information by interacting in a conversation. You can do it by using the search functionality, and you can just like chat with the bots from there. To add a bot to a team, you can click on the ellipses of the team. You can go to Manage Team. You can see the different apps that you have on there, but if you wanted to go to bots, let me actually jump out to my apps, and then from there I can click on bots. And the one that I wanted to show today is called Who, which is a productivity bot, and I already have Who, so I'm going to go ahead and open this. So as I said, I can chat with the bot. I'm going to go ahead and open that. So the Who bot allows you to search for who to speak to regarding a certain topic, or if you were just curious with, who someone works with. So a few things that I can search on here, is who is Julian? Who is typing? And it returns back with, this is who Julian is. So what if I want to see, who is Julian's manager? Should come back up with who the manager of Julian is. Search.
Ties mean to me.
I think this is really cool. You could also use it to figure out, okay, well, I'm trying to figure out, who knows about live events. So that's something that I can actually type in here too. So who knows about live events? And then it's searching for people that have mentioned live events before. And it looks like Renee is somebody that I can go to regarding live events. So I thought this was really cool because you can see, your org, and you see things like this. And, I've even used it too to look for, who knows about licensing, or who knows about more things within Teams. So, I really recommend using the Who button, just playing around with it. All right, so the next topic is adding tabs. So you can add tabs in a channel, a private chat, and a group chat. I'm going to go ahead and create a tab actually within a chat with Julian. As you can see, we have an ongoing conversation here about taking over the world. And like he was saying, we love gifts.
Awesome. I've never actually created tabs. I see the things up there. I create tabs in channels. I've never created a tab in a chat.
Yeah, so this is really useful too if, say there's something that we talk about pretty often. So like I added a PDF in here and say I wanted to add that as a tab, and it can be, you know, readily available for me to just click on, and you know, we can talk about it right away. So let me go ahead and click that PDF in here, and I can even post to the chat about this tab. Now within our chat, we have this PDF as a tab on here.
And so one thing that a lot of people don't know about adding the tabs is that you can add additional SaaS apps. So you can put Salesforce in a tab. You can put HubSpot in a tab. It will just run browser windows. So anything that runs on the web will run in a tab.
Let's go ahead and see what Julian had.
We'll close that.
Oh, so you did add.
You know it. When I found out this worked, it blew my mind. Yep, it's got some extra music in there, but Survivio is a web-based video game, and it was just let's see exactly what will run in Teams one day while we were working on demo tenants, and it runs, it works. Get out of there. We're talking about productivity.
Well, I was also gonna show, like you were saying, you can add different links in there, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the Teams analytics and reporting one within our chat, and we can just put in a website. Just call it analytics and reporting. And now we have the link in our chat, so it's another easy go-to. You know, this is if we're looking for information and we want to go to it pretty quickly. You know, now we have it within our own chat.
Yep, and the tabs are very dynamic. As you can see, I've already removed the video game.
You can even move it. All right, cool. All right, so let's see, another trick. Do you know, I'm sure you know this, you can save some of these collections as well. Say there's something very important that you send over to me, and I just wanted to keep it in like some type of like collection. I can, let's see, I can go to my saves, and it brings me to everything that I have saved in the past. So Karen, you know, I sent a file. Alan sent something about the Seattle Marathon, and that's something that I have saved as well. And you know, again, you just go to your profile picture and click on saved, and it brings you to everything that you have that you've saved from different people.
Nice. So you can build your own reference library.
Yes, exactly. All right, and lastly, so I wanted to go over some power user tricks. And some of you may already know of some of this, but let's go ahead and demo a few. So, do you know you can mention people from the search? So let me just go ahead and mention Julian again. Send a message through there.
And now I also get the desktop notification that if I'm working on something, I don't even need to jump out.
Exactly. And let's make sure that it did send.
Yep.
All right. Talk later. All right, so that's one of them. And another one too is creating hyperlinks within conversations. So
this is my favorite.
Doing that, you just click Control K, add the text that you want to display, and then add the web address.
So the reason where this is nice is when you're working with files and you get that SharePoint link that's about 27 pages long,
right.
Instead of getting that big ugly link that nobody can read, you can type the name of the document, highlight it, hit Control K, paste that SharePoint link in there, and it just makes everything a lot neater and people know what it is. Things don't get all tied up and busy. And the other thing about Control K is that works just about everywhere. It works in Word, it works in Outlook. If you use WordPress, it works there. Yep.
There you go. That was one of them. If you wanted to find all the other different shortcuts, you can just do /keys, press enter, and then I'll see all the keyboard shortcuts.
Yep, and then down below you've also got links to the official Microsoft guidance for shortcuts, as well as the accessibility centers. So there are some interesting things you can do with accessibility, even if you aren't of limited ability, that really help out in your day-to-day work.
This is very helpful, especially for people that like to use shortcuts for everything.
If I could never touch a mouse again, I wouldn't.
All right, so is there any other power user trick that you'd want to show on here? You know, there's also, I guess there's mentions that we could
That one's
show
nice.
on here. You see everything that I was mentioned in. Let's see.
Yeah, this is sometimes nice if you're just getting bombarded with stuff. Like when I'm launching a new campaign or we're working on a new product, sometimes I'm getting 50 or 60 messages over like the span of lunch. And I come back and I can just do mentions and I have everything in one screen so I can look at it really quickly and identify, oh, this is something I need to get on right now. And it helps me prioritize.
Right.
Yep.
I guess another one too is activity. I think this is something that you've searched for in the past as well.
Yeah, this was one.
See someone's activity. And we can look up Julian's activity.
Oh, you might not want to do that.
See, see that you posted messages, gifts.
Yeah, and when you hit that / command up top, it gives you a list of all of these commands. So if you just type /, it's just like keys. Nope. So this will show you all of the available / commands, and these are getting added all the time. So when we were practicing yesterday, one thing that hadn't rolled out yet was you could just like and thumbs up on messages. Today they rolled out the heart reaction, the wow reaction. So now you've got those kind of Facebook reactions to messages, which is handy. Sometimes I don't want to give a thumbs up. I still want to acknowledge that I've seen something, but I don't really like it.
Yes.
So
just acknowledge that you like it. I do that a lot. You just, okay, I saw it, I liked it. You know, this is me acknowledging that I have seen your message.
Yep, but now you can add the hearts, the wows, the unhappies. Yeah, so they're adding new features all the time. So just every once in a while, go up there and hit that / key up there and see what's being offered.
Angry.
I'm heartbroken.
All right. Well, that was all I had for today. Sean, is there anything else that we wanted to cover?
No, usually this is the part where we break it out into questions. If you click right over there, back on the GoToWebinar part, and see if there's questions. So this is the part where we go ahead and we shut off the recording. For everybody who's watching online, give us a like and follow. There's a link to the whole write-up in the description down below if you want to read our blog and see all of these features written out. This really is just scratching the surface of Teams.
Right.
The one thing I did notice is if you have a recurring meeting, those notes that you were showing, every time that meeting recurs and somebody makes a note or makes a comment, it doesn't move to a new meeting. So you can have those recurring meetings, like, for example, product marketing, where we meet every 2 weeks.
Right.
And, oh, check this out. But then when you go back to it, you have that entire history of your chats, all your shared files.
Oh, yeah, that's useful.
It's really useful. So your meeting really becomes, instead of just spread out like group of instances, it becomes one consolidated meeting that just happens to span an hour every 2 weeks for the year. But Kristin, thank you so much. Your first Tech Talk. I'm definitely going to be bringing you over here again. Thank you to everybody online, and we're going to go ahead and open it up for questions. For those of you watching the recording, have a great week.